Okay, so this is a video about the lower leg muscles. So we'll do, even though we've already done a few of them, we'll go over it as if it's a single lecture. First thing we do is we're going to draw the knee. So that means I guess I could change the color of that. I don't know. So we draw the femur, the condyles of the femur. Patella, tibia. I guess I could have made this bigger. Tibial tuberosity, fibula, alright. So it means we got to draw the foot again. Alright, so okay, back view, probably the inside view as well. So do the inside view first. Patella. Yeah, I could have used the whole page. Let's see. I can move this up out of the way. Okay, back view. Condyles of the femur. And there's this arc, this ridge right there. Fibula. Okay. All right. Let's change the color. Let's do the soleus first. I think that's the way we start. Soleus attaches to the back of the fibula, and it cuts across the back of the tibia like this. Comes down. It's kind of a mid arc, I guess you could say, maybe low. This one, there would be a higher arc. The peak would be up high. Probably could have made this come in a little bit more. There's a tendon that cuts across right here. Mostly we could get that a little bit later. But when we're drawing the fibers of this muscle, they would probably connect to that tendon, something like this. And I guess we could draw that tendon. That tendon would be in here, the Achilles tendon. Alright, so from the side view, that soleus mostly comes down straight. It's kind of a flattened form. There's a muscle that goes over it that really gives the prominent profile of the lower leg. This is the base, you know, the muscle that goes over it. This is the base for the muscle that goes over it. From the front view, it's the the furthest most profile of the lateral part of the leg. On the inside, there's a muscle that goes over this that brings the furthest most middle profile, mid profile. So, and we try to think about the peak up here and the peak kind of low on this. That's kind of the way we think about that. May as well just do it on the side here to give context to whatever we put on this view. All right. Next is I'll pick out a different muscle. Pick out this color for the tibialis anterior. Tibialis anterior fills the lateral side of the shin. I hope that color is coming through. And then the tendon goes under the arch of the foot there. So maybe I could outline that muscle for you. I don't want to go crazy with it. And from the side, what color did I use? Is that right? And from the side, the lateral view, that muscle doesn't come past, it bulks past the shin, but it doesn't cover the shin, but it follows that same profile. That's why the profile, the front of the tibia is so important, because it really gives us the profile of that front lower leg. So there we go. All right. I guess we could add some other parts like the patellar ligament coming down. Probably this, actually the head of the fibula could come out a little more than I have it. Because we want to attach the hamstrings to it. And plus, it actually is, the soleus does not come past that. The head of the fibula is visible as a form. So I shouldn't have had it like that, like I originally did. All right, so next, I guess we're caught up with the lower leg. So next is the gastrocnemius, which I could use. I guess I could just still use this color, whatever. It's two muscle bellies. So it's kind of like the hamstrings in that there's this division that comes down straight down the middle. The lateral part is higher up. The medial part is lower and fuller. So from the lateral view, the soleus is the profile. But from the medial view, the gastrocs give you a profile. Like that. Comes over the condyle right there, the attachment, the insertion, or the origin is the top of the condyle. The insertion is the tendon, the Achilles tendon that comes across. So really that tendon, let's go back to this, is right there. And I could outline that for you. Like that. Now, let's color the gastrocs. May as well color it. I guess I could pick out something a little darker. Well, that, how come it's not doing that? How do I? Okay. So from the side view, this muscle comes over onto the tibia. It's a fuller muscle than the lateral head. Comes down lower. Okay, so the form right here, now I gotta try to remember which color. The form right here, there is no real division. The division might show up more towards the bottom. What happens is these forms in the center here kind of come together because there's a tendon. There's tendinous expansions right here on each head, and that causes like a depression on the form. And so what happens is the muscle here becomes very full and convex. So it appears more as a column. There's no division that you would see there. So that it's a tendinous expansion that causes a bit of a depression right there. Okay? All right. So next would be the peroneus muscles. Peroneus means fibula. So there's 3 peroneus muscles, but we talk about 2 of them. We talk about the peroneus brevis and the peroneus longus. The brevis is on the lowest part, the lower part of the fibula. Another name for the peroneus muscles are the fibularis muscles. So peroneus means fibula. It goes directly on the fibula. The origin is the lower half of the fibula for the peroneus brevis. It's this muscle, very simple muscle with a tendon that goes behind the ankle and attaches here at the base of the 5th metatarsal. Okay? So it does provide a bit of a profile here at the lower part of the leg. The tendon goes behind the ankle right there. Next is the peroneus longus, which is a similar form, but it's up at the top part, and it covers, I guess I could change the color there. It covers peroneus brevis. But they kind of form a similar column. You're not necessarily going to see the division of those 2 muscles. I wouldn't worry about it. But what happens is the tendon covers over the brevis, and it goes underneath the foot. So we don't have to get that crazy, but we could do it at least behind the ankle, goes underneath the foot. So let's see. Peroneus here as well. All right. Next is the extensor digitorum longus, and that one fits in between the tibialis anterior and the peroneus muscles. Its attachment is on the front part of the fibula and part of the tibia below the condyle. So it fills in this space. And it becomes tendinous down low, and the tendons branch off to hit the outside 4 toes. So what did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So could have done a better job with that. Okay. So now what we have is we really completed all of the lower leg muscles, but let's go a little bit further here. So we have the gastrocnemius, we're going from back to front. The soleus, peroneus muscles, extensor digitorum longus, and then the tibialis anterior. All right, so what we have is in order gastrocnemius, soleus, peroneus muscles, extensor digitorum longus, and tibialis anterior. So that order is GSPET. So I had students come up with stuff to help them remember. Giant, squid, pet. One student came up with good sushi pleases every tummy, which the class thought was humorous. I don't know that I thought it was that humorous, but I guess it is kind of funny. So anyway, whatever it takes to help you remember that. So now, having said that, these forms do work together in certain ways. So you don't necessarily want to remember all of it. The gastrocs and the soleus work together. The extensor digitorum and tibialis anterior work together. So that is that this form may blend together and be seamless, right? This form is a standalone, this column, the peroneus. Now the extensor digitorum and tibialis may kind of work together as well. So when you see a standard lower leg, you may just see 3 separations. You may not see a separation for every muscle, but it'll break up into 3 columns, right? So if you could kind of keep that in your head, that might help you out, simplify things. All right? So the back 2 muscles form together, the front 2 muscles form together. The one in the center is a standalone column that goes with the fibula. Hopefully that helps you out a little bit.